What's up, YouTube? Got our second installment here of our lovely comic chat. Maybe not gonna wow you guys as much as last week. I know we started off with a bang with some first Moon Knight, first Blade stuff. Doesn't mean it's not still good. If you're a comic fan, you can find beauty in all kinds of books, especially older ones. Got 4 different sets of books for you today. Let's start with this one. What do we got here? Black Goliath. So for those of you that aren't familiar, he was a character first introduced in Avengers. As Bill Foster was his alter ego. He's a doctor. He ends up kind of being sort of a foil to Ant-Man, Hank Pym, because he ends up having powers similar to Hank Pym's Giant Man form, because Black Goliath, he grows. He's a big guy. He appeared in, let's see, what was it? It was Avengers 32, so definitely an earlier appearance. And he's also been featured in the MCU for anybody that likes to sometimes pick up comics related to characters they've seen in feature films and things like that. He was actually in Ant-Man and the Wasp 2. He didn't, grow, but Bill Foster was in the film, portrayed by Lawrence Fishburne. For anybody who knows him, you should. What else? He's also the only of our books that are being featured today that were made by Stan Lee. Everybody else is somebody else, but we'll get to those. So we got issues 1 to 5 of Black Goliath. I'll kind of lead you through these real quick. And there, 3. Little Stilt Man. And number 5. So another thing I thought I'd do with some of these too is when we had like issues of note or things worth maybe buying these for, if you're the type of person that maybe looks for particular things when you're buying a comic, or speculate, might help you if I gave you some information on these. So this issue of the 4, no, not this one, sorry. We got, where is it? Issue 4 sort of stands out a little bit because it's got Jack Kirby art of the 5 issues. It's the one that does. So for any Jack Kirby fans, this one's probably worth having. This was also his only solo run. Black Goliath. He featured in other books. He was in Avengers. He popped up in lots of places. Luke Cage, things like that. But only time he ever had a solo book was this run here. The other thing about this run, well, not about this run particularly, Black Goliath is actually currently deceased in the Marvel Universe too. So he was killed during Civil War by Ragnarok. So he's no longer around. So he's, for anybody that's the type of collector that's trying to sort of go start to finish, like, hey, I want all the appearances of this person. As of now, this is the type of character that you could do that with. Obviously with comics, it doesn't usually seem like anybody stays dead forever. There's some exceptions, but he's one of the ones that is still gone. So if you were ever a fan of Black Goliath, this might be something you'd be into. So the rest of our sets today are all done. Like I said, the first one was done by Stan Lee. Unintentionally. This is, I didn't realize this before I looked through what was going up today, and I sort of realized these are all done by Roy Thomas. And as you'll see, he had a wide swath of work in his time making comics. But the next batch is probably our biggest. Yeah, this is in fact our biggest batch of books today. So I might not show you every single cover on this, but I'll definitely show you what matters here. Is Ghost Rider. Yeah. This is a big one. This is probably the standout stuff for today. So we've got Ghost Rider 1 to 26 of the original series of the superhero Ghost Rider. So the reason I say that was there was one other iteration of Ghost Rider prior to this, and he was a cowboy. He rode a horse, but he's not considered a superhero character. The connections between the Spirit of Vengeance, which is the Marvel Ghost Rider, and that one are tenuous at best. So, for all intents and purposes, this is the first run of Ghost Rider in an ongoing title. So a little background for you on Ghost Rider. Besides the fact that he was created by Roy Thomas. So his first appearance was Marvel Spotlight number 5, which was a great book. Great book for first appearances of all kinds of characters. If I could ever like pick up, runs of Marvel titles, at a low cost, it would be Marvel Spotlight. Would definitely be one of them. What else? Also like our Bill Foster Goliath there. Ghost Rider's obviously, he's been portrayed on screen as well. Not everybody's a fan of the film versions. There were 2 films, Ghost Rider 1 and 2 were both Nicolas Cage movies. I personally don't think that they were bad films. When you look back at them, they're not particularly, they don't bring anything super original to the superhero genre, but that doesn't make them not enjoyable watches. And then they did another on-screen Ghost Rider in the TV show Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In the 4th season, they introduced the most recent Ghost Rider, which was Robbie Reyes. Well, actually, not the most recent, second most recent. Robbie Reyes, though. And he was portrayed by Gabriel Luna. And he was actually supposed to get a spinoff show on Hulu, but I guess that got canned. What else? So there are 5 well-known Ghost Riders. I mean, as you read Ghost Rider titles, they expand on the mythos, and to say that we've only ever seen 5 would be wrong, but the 5 main ones is, so we've got Johnny Blaze, who's featured in the main series here. He's probably the most well-known Ghost Rider. There's probably some contention about the most popular Ghost Rider. The second most, second appearance, not appearance, but the second Ghost Rider that we got was Danny Ketch in the 90s, and there's a lot of contention in the comic community. There's like Ketch lovers, Blaze lovers, and sometimes there's animosity there. Ketch is better than Blaze, Blaze is better than Ketch. And then some of the other ones are a little less known, a little less cared about. There's Alejandra Jones, who's the known female Ghost Rider. Again, I haven't read every Ghost Rider book. There may have been mentions of other female Ghost Riders in the past. There was Robbie Reyes, who, for all intents and purposes, I said he's the most recent Ghost Rider. And if we look at Ghost Riders in the most serious sense, he is probably the most recent. There is one more over the last few years that they introduced, the Cosmic Ghost Rider. And that is Frank Castle, Punisher, for those of you that don't know. It is a real Ghost Rider, but a lot of the portrayals, but a lot of the instances we see that Ghost Rider are comedic and hard to take seriously. I mean, he was introduced in a mainline book, Thanos, which was a serious book, but all his subsequent appearances have been kind of slapstick, so I have a hard time taking him seriously as a Ghost Rider, but he is in fact, also a well-known Ghost Rider. As far as what we got today, so for this Ghost Rider run here, we've got 1 to 26. The conditions on these ranged between 7.0 and 9.2. I will say that the number 1 I graded out at about a 7.0. And the number 2 here, which is, significantly better, it's an 8.5. These are both noteworthy books, not only because it's a number 1 and number 2 of a series, but if you guys remember from last week, we had Son of Satan 1 through 8. Son of Satan is Damon Hellstrom. Damon Hellstrom's first brief appearance and first full appearance. So, anybody who's interested in Damon Hellstrom, speculating on that new TV show, this might be for you. A reminder, though, everything you do see here, these like sequential sets are going as sets. Unfortunately, no cherry picking. What else here? Number 3 is also a noteworthy issue. Got this one at about an 8.0, and this is, if you noticed on those first 2 covers, Ghost Rider's bikes were not on fire. That was actually an acquired power that he specifically got in issue 3. He gets the ability to, immolate his bike without it, exploding. It just becomes a part of him, essentially an extension of him. What else? What other noteworthy ones do we have? We've got issue 10 out of 1 through 26 here is got a couple of things. It is... Oh! Sorry about that, guys. We got issue 10 here is a Hulk cover, for you lovers of Hulk. And it's also the retelling of the origin. So there's that. That's about an 8.0. What else? Ghost Rider number 11. Also another Hulk appearance. 2-part story there. Any other ones of note? Yeah. Ghost Rider 20. Any lovers of Daredevil here? We got Karen Page, Ghost Rider, and Daredevil all on the cover there. And this is actually a tie-in with Daredevil, a little crossover action. It ties in with Daredevil 138. So that's cool. That one was an 8.5. Another one here. For any of you speculators on some of the lower key Marvel first appearances, we got issue 21 is the first Enforcer. Got that at a 7.5. It's not super pricey issue either. A little less than $10. What do we got here? And for obvious reason, the most expensive issue in this Ghost Rider set was the number 1. In its 7.0 condition, it's still about a $90 book. But obviously, this will all go for a set, and it'll be like a set discount. So we get that going. What else? We've got 2 more sets of stuff today. We've got the Invaders, for any fans of the Invaders. So, for anybody not familiar with the Invaders, they were Cap's team during the during World War II, and long before his time with the Avengers, obviously, just chronologically. The team actually did appear in an issue of Avengers, and then from there they kind of backtracked and started having comics for the Invaders that are like, hey, this is what was happening during World War II before Cap got frozen and woke up in the future there. The original team was Cap, Bucky, Submariner, Toro, and Human Torch. But the Human Torch in this is actually the first Human Torch. A lot of people know the Human Torch from Fantastic Four. There was a Human Torch technically before him. His name was John Hammond. I'm not 100% sure. He's like some kind of android, synthoid, human robot hybrid thing that's got the power of fire, essentially. So what do we have here? So for Invaders today, we've got the annual, which I just gave you guys a peek at, which, 8.5, and this one's a $42 book in the shape it's in. We've got 1 through 21 of Invaders today. What else? Issue 1, we've got here, this is a cool, beautiful cover. This is another one, graded out at an 8.5. Beautiful book. That one's about $52 in the shape it's in. Oh, what else? Any books of note here? Again, another sort of low-key, not high or not very well-known character, but first appearance of Brain Drain is in issue 2 of the Invaders. What do we got that? We got that one at an 8.5. That's roughly a $22 book. Here's a little bit of a more well-known B BC list Marvel character. He's more known from the Marvel UK stuff. He looks like he's wearing a unitard, kind of like Spidey, but he's got like a British flag on it. His name's Union Jack. His first appearance was in Invaders #7. I don't know if there's speculation around this character or not. I'm not sure what he would appear, but then again, lots of people are appearing in places you wouldn't expect them. This is at an 8.5, and honestly, there's it's about a $15 book. It's not really like anything too crazy, but yeah. Any other noteworthy issues? Oh yeah, there's still a couple in here. Issue 19 is I don't know if I can call it cool, interesting cover. Issue 19's got a Hitler cover, with him having the invaders all caged up. I guess all I can really say about that is, he did feature in lots of mediums. Comics, they may not have always shown him and just talked about him a lot, so this was worth mentioning. It's, out of 19 issues with the invaders, this is the first one that he was on the cover of, so, and given that it was set during that time period, it's kind of significant. And issue 20 is also sort of a noteworthy issue. This is our boy Union Jack there, who we were talking about his first appearance of earlier. Issue 20 includes a reprint of the first appearance and origin of the Submariner. So, for anybody who's not looking to track that, expensive book down, you can get it in here. And we had that at about an 8.5 also. Not too expensive. It's like a $12 book in that shape. And we got one more outing of books today. Let's grab this here. So this next character is featured in a lot of mediums. Mostly in comics, but she's been in film. She was featured in short stories and things like that. Last book is Red Sonja. So she is based on a character by Robert E. Howard, who also did a lot of the early Conan stuff. Although when Marvel started using Red Sonja, they sort of tweaked her to be able to fit into their Conan narrative, because she wasn't originally from the Hyborian age. So it's like, okay, let's rejigger her to be able to fit in here. And her first Marvel appearance was actually Conan 23. So, but yeah. So she's been in film. She's pretty well known. To be honest with you, as a comic book fan, the first place I learned about Red Sonja was not the movie, was not the the comics. It was from an Eminem song that he mentioned her in, and then I had to look her up. So, but we've only got issues 1 through 5 of her today, and all of these were great. Except for issue 2, they all graded out at 9.2. Issue 2 was just a 9.0. It just a little less good than the others, but they're all beautiful. 9.2s and 9.0 across the board here. Issue 1 is about a $50 book. Issues 2 through 5 are between 10 and 12 each, so 12, 6, this whole set's going to be under $100. Based in value and in our pricing. But besides that, that's what we got for today, guys. So we're gonna keep chugging along here. We're gonna have another. We just had a video yesterday for collectibles. We're gonna have another one tomorrow for collectibles. I'm gonna try to get that out either tomorrow night or Monday. Probably have another comic one soon again. As always, like, comment, subscribe to the videos. Check out the links in the description for where you can try to get your hands on this stuff. And as always, I've been your friendly neighborhood comic book dude. You guys have a good day.